what's up? This is the Knights of the VENG table. Everyone want to say hello with your gamer tag?
Hello, this is Viking.
Hello, this is WRBGoalKeeper.
It's CoyotePackGaming here.
Hi, I'm Lou TV.
All right, so and this is ChurchofCaboose. Did we miss anyone before we move on in?
Nope.
All right, sweet. So this is episode 2, where we kind of talk about stuff that's going on. We're going to try to have kind of a core group. Right now, the thought would be there's going to be a couple of us, like myself, WRB, and Stealtho Viking, that would, in theory, be around every week, while other folks maybe rotates in and out too. We'll see what happens with all of that. Ideally, audio and things will get better as time goes on as well. So I kind of run the whole shebang and bring up topics. Folks give their ideas. We do have some new-ish players, or at least returning new players to Destiny 2. So this should be kind of interesting. So let's do the first thing, that perfect aim. It was a cheat. In case anyone's not aware, it's a cheating deal that basically makes your aim perfect. Hence, I would assume the name Perfect Aim. And Bungie has done a cease and desist order. Result is that Bungie or Perfect Aim no longer exists. They don't sell stuff for Destiny 2. So what do you guys think about that whole shebang?
I think that's pretty good news, actually.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, specifically because there was a lot of abuse going on with that. I mean, I don't know exact numbers because probably Bungie doesn't even have them either. But, you know, certainly there was some improvement on PvP and trials specifically.
Yeah, I did expect a bump in cheating because folks know once their subscription's out, they can't get it anymore. And I ran into some absolute bots in quick play. Like, I'm talking dudes that would miss a barn with a rocket launcher. Like, guys that popped spectral blades literally in front, like right in my face, and used the whole super trying to get me. And I think some of that's the result of they ran out of their perfect aim.
Oh yeah,
You know, to be
it's
fair,
a huge change.
What was that?
a lot of those guys, they're absolute horrible at their super anyways, because, you know, it doesn't perfect aim their super for them. That's kind of a tell, you know?
Yeah, that was one of the big indicators, was that if you thought someone was cheating, was could they use their super? Because the aim doesn't work for supers.
Yeah.
It was just funny, you know, I'm running around in quick play. I had multiple occasions, people like completely missing me with the rocket launcher. Like, I don't even mean like blowing myself up and them. I mean like miss the map with the rocket. It's like, holy cow. And there was spike with that off of the bat. Entertaining. I hope this mostly came about because of the world's first race and Bungie's like, screw it. So I do know Bungie went after artists, like fan art people, long before they did this.
Well,
have you guys seen anyone's videos with like the screenshots of those the customers like losing their minds?
Oh yeah, I've seen a bunch.
Yes.
They're kind of a guilty pleasure for me at the moment, honestly. It's a karma in action.
Have you seen videos of everything the Perfect Aim thing did? Apparently messed with the internet connection, stuff like that, so you could actually get stuff like a full auto Whisper of the Worm, or basically any full auto weapon in the game, and a lot of things like that. I mean, it was game breaking at all.
Yeah, I'm not completely aware of all the cheats that Perfect Aim has. But I have definitely seen videos of folks like killing the prophecy boss in like 2 seconds with an infinite whisper, just like rapid, insane shots. That way they did a solo clear with crazy easy. So I don't know if that's all Perfect Aim or not. I do know they got lots for the aim assist stuff.
And now that you mention it, getting the emblem from, you know, one of those people selling the services and all that kind of stuff, they were probably using it. considering it's a little to no effort thing to do.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Oh, there's two forum things that really stand up in my mind, and no one would put their names with it. One of them's a hero, the other one's a villain. So that the hero guy was just commenting on a bunch, at least one of their little forum things, just saying, "I suggest just get good." Which, like, what do we do now? He's like, "I guess get good," and that made me laugh. Still makes me laugh.
See, I think True Vanguard put in a video that the guy who posted that actually posted a screenshot on Twitter with his Twitter name.
Oh, could be. He knew he'd get famous from that one. Had to have known. And then the villain one was this one dude that says, really, it's something along, this is paraphrasing, so I don't have it memorized. And if I got my PC to work, I was actually going to pull it all up. But it's really, just as we're getting good at the game, the thing that helped us to get better goes away. Like what?
Yeah.
Like if I go to the gym and I have Arnold Schwarzenegger bench pressing for me, does that mean I actually got any better at bench pressing? How does this work?
See, when your spotter has twice the amount of muscles you do, you just get better.
Of course, logic, that's how it works.
Yeah, I thought it was worth mentioning
when
the perfect aim
because for you.
Yeah, it just cracks me up. Like I'm like, okay, cool. And then on Twitter, there's all the folks like, you can't use it on Xbox, so I don't even give a crap. I'm like, you definitely can use it on Xbox. It's just harder and it requires a PC, so most people just use the PC.
Well, it's not like the cheating stops at aim hacks and stuff like that. DOSing is still a really big issue within consoles. When I was playing PS4, I tell people the story. One of the last things I did on PS4 was a round of trials with my buds, and the very first game, they attempted to DOS him and successfully DOSed me. First game of the weekend, and it was like, all right, I'm done with this. Like, internet completely shuts down.
I haven't looked up much on DOSing lately, but I think one of the best comp games of my entire life came from someone trying to DOS, and they got my brother. I ended up carrying 2v3 for 35 kills to the other team's 37. And he said that nothing else crashed on his internet. So I'm just kind of curious if anyone knows, like, does your whole internet still crash, or is it updated enough where people like can actually be sneaky because everyone assumes everything crashes if you get DDoSed?
Well, the first thing you do is check.
I'm not too certain. I wouldn't even want to look into it.
There we go.
I want to give them ideas.
Well, anyways, so that's kind of the perfect aim thing. Unless anyone felt like they wanted to add in, it should make the world's first race a little bit more legit now. But the main thing I thought we would talk about would be next, unless anyone wanted to add something real quick.
I will add one thing. My favorite comment I've ever read on these forums is how many of them have said publicly, well, now I'm just going to cancel my pre-order. It's like,
oh,
yes,
yeah.
please cancel your pre-order. Make my
I don't know
day.
how many there is, but I definitely did see someone. I think it was Azatros or someone share a screenshot where someone's like, "Yep, I'm canceling my pre-order for Beyond Light since I can't cheat now." I was like, "Holy cow!"
That's great news.
Good.
So I was like, "Get off the game, you bastard!" I feel like we got to pay to cheat, and then you feel like I guess the main takeaway I got from this was not were these people like cheating, and they're like, like I probably shouldn't, but I really suck. Like, there's a couple that were like that. They're like, yep, I'm a virgin. This is terrible. And so I cheat because I suck otherwise. But you got appears to be the vast majority being like, hell yeah, I cheat. What you going to do about it? This is fantastic. Now this game's crap because I can't cheat like I used to. And there's still cheats. Like, don't get us wrong, whoever's watching. Like, there's going to still be things like internet manipulation. I'm sure folks will come up with other codes. Like, this will never end completely, but at least the main current provider is gone.
Right.
Yep.
All right. So for the main potatoes, I figured this would be rather appropriate with Festival of the Lost coming to a close. And then we have another community event, presumably propping up in the next week or two. And then we always, every summer there's an event. Every winter, like with Christmas, there's an event. Every Valentine's Day, there's an event. And I thought it'd be a decent time for folks to share what they like about events, don't like about events, and what they would want to see from the future. If you guys want, I can start off with a couple of things and see if it gets the ball rolling, or if someone else wants to do that, go for it.
Yeah, that's a big can of worms you should open.
Sure. All right. So one of my biggest, this is as of course a Destiny veteran and someone who tries to get everything. So I should probably preface my opinions with the fact, for some reason, for some irrational, inexplicable reason, I take immense pride in getting every triumph done for every season since the beginning of Destiny 2. I don't know why, including Iron Banner. Other than like the 7th column I can't get that one right now to save my life. And so whenever these events come out, I'm like, I have to get it done. So good example, Festival of the Lost. Granted, I was at home because everyone thought I had COVID, but I got all the triumphs done in like 3 days. And now I'm like, all right, now that for me, the event's over, and it's stupid because there's no other reason to do it past those loot things. And that tends to be, for me, a pretty common thing. Is it's either a bunch of really stupid repetitive grinding that either gets made ridiculously easier that makes you regret trying to do stuff when you have the time, or there's just really lackluster rewards for said things. So that's kind of been my gripe. Like usually at the beginning, I'm like, hey, this isn't bad. I'm ADHD. I see more stuff popping up on my screen. It's like, ooh, look, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. When I'm playing, and then it goes away, and it's no longer ooh, a piece of candy. It's like, oh my god, more stuff to delete.
Well, I think it's common because I don't know if maybe Bungie is not seeing the big picture and thinking on replayability, because as you said, you get the loot and that's it. I mean, you don't get any better gear. You're not getting anything. I mean, the gear is dropping at 750, so it's even worthless to run it. You're not getting anything better. You're not getting god rolls. You're not getting practically anything. And, what's the point then?
Well, I will say they put out in their little patch notes today that the 750 thing was fixed as of today's update.
Well,
okay, that's good. Yeah, I actually haven't gotten to log in to see. I saw something too about Chroniclers officially donezo if you don't have it done.
Yep.
That was
pretty
much
a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was part of the update for today or not. So anyways, at least the loot now it drops out. But speaking of the loot, it's great that it drops at appropriate power levels. So I'd assume 1050 or maybe 1060. 450 autos, like the only kind of weapons you can get from this thing currently are just meh. Like they do fine, like in the hands of fantastic PvP players, but like is the average Joe gonna want to have a 450 at Horror Story competing against someone's 600 RPM gnawing hunger from across the map?
And that's one of the biggest things that I do gripe about the 450s is, okay, so the 360s can compete at greater ranges than the 600s. They do have an edge to some degree. The 600s are just so good all around that it doesn't matter. And then you kind of edged out. The 450s have like really nothing going for them in terms of lethality or stability or just overall usefulness. They're just kind of there. They just exist in this weird bubble of not being particularly great at either thing.
Now let me spit you guys a hypothetical. Let's just say Bungie's being all secretive, like who. Beyond light hits, 450s suddenly are now the new meta, and then everything we just talked about with the loot being stupid, and folks that are like, this is dumb, I'm not grinding for a god roll 450. We're all now like, oh my god, I should have grinded for a god roll 450. Would that change anyone's opinion about the loot thing, or would it switch more to then Bungie should be more open because it's a little cheap, in my opinion, to have something secretly be waiting to become the next like gnawing hunger, and no one knows about it because it's being hidden in an annoying ass haunted forest?
The thing is right now,
is that the best rolls you can get out of the 450s right now, the horror story and I think the Bright Tech's also a 450.
Yep.
Mhm.
Is that once you get one of the weapons, either of them from the Haunted Forest, their best rolls I feel like are their curated rolls. That no matter what roll you get from the Haunted Forest, it automatically unlocks a curated roll from your collections, which you can just
Yep.
then get out of your collection and just have it. So once you get one of them
Oh.
either, you can get out
Yeah.
the collection. So it's just easy to have a God roll or close to God roll of both of them.
So collections will let you pull out that original version.
Yes.
Yeah, it allows you to pull out the
No.
curated roll
All
for
right.
the same
I kinda-
power cap.
I assumed that went away with them having random rolls now. Oh, since we're on this, just real quick, anyone want, or for you guys, if you're trying to get the broadsword, you can pull it out of collections now. And I only know that because I did that the other day just to see, because that was my last Mastery Crucible Triumph, and I was able to pull one out of collections because I deleted them all apparently. So that relieved me. I was looking down the barrel doing the whole quest fresh on my hunter. But anyways, I just thought I'd mention that since we're on that same kind of a topic. So what's some stuff that I guess people maybe really like? Do you have any semi-new or returning to Destiny 2 kind of players in here that maybe could give an input that's not salted by years of Destiny like I have?
I'll say
well,
as a
I'm
returning
new.
player. Oh, sorry. Go
All
ahead.
right, let's hear it, Lou.
Okay, so I'm pretty much new. This is my first season. I would say I came with certain expectations because I usually do Halloween events because I love Halloween. And in the beginning, it was not that good. I wasn't too enthused about the loot pool or the way that we had to get the ciphers. But as things have gone on, I've tried to do my best to not do what I did with what was it? Festival of the not Festival of the Law. What was the Solstice of Heroes? There we go. Sorry, my memory can be a little spotty.
It's all good.
But I was trying to not rush everything like sorry about that. That I did before. So right now I'm kind of almost done with it. I do enjoy just going in to the haunted forest using Xenophage and just killing everything I see, or being afraid of the hive knight that comes through and pretty much murders you with a one shot. That's pretty fun. But other than that, I think it's a really simple event. I just wish we had more new weapons and things like that.
Gotcha. So let me just ask a question because I'm a little salty on this one particularly. So when this event first started, those ciphers were crazy rare, and I'm glad they got buffed a little bit. And so then, like Stealtho Viking and myself spent hours farming out what we had left in Nightfalls to do it, and then like the next day, Bungie increased the rate to being like 2 to 3 times more than it was after they had buffed it the first time. And so for us, or at least for me anyways, I was like, oh my God, once again, catering to the casuals for something where they all had a month to do it and they intentionally buffed it to something you could probably do in like 4 days as a casual person instead of just leaving it as it was. So when they buffed it the first time, they like, fixed the drop rate, it wasn't bad. Like it was a kind of a slow grind. So you either had to do like this one kind of activity that was like a 99% drop ratio and be good enough to do it like 6 to 7 minutes every time, or you just played and you got them at a reasonable rate. And then they went to making it where like a Crucible match, for example, drops an average of like 1.5, I think is what it is. If you play enough games, it's like about 1.5 per game. So how do you feel as a perhaps newer, maybe more labeled currently casual person? Because I know a lot of folks like myself are actually rather annoyed that once again it feels like casualization is making it where things that take more time and effort are no longer something to brag about.
I'm not a casual or new player, as you might say, since I've been playing since day one, Destiny 2. But the drop rate I'm kind of fine with because at this point in time, you can imagine how few people are probably playing Destiny 2 at this point compared to the beginning of the season, because again, the season's been extended by an extra month and a half, so less people are doing it. And even the vets, I'm guessing, are playing less, so people probably don't want to sink so much time just this event to get worn out before Beyond Light even drops. So having the increased drop rate to get the event done faster, so you can take a break to get ready for Beyond Light, I'm not that, I guess, mad about, because it's not such a big event that it really matters with anything. It's
Well,
not
do
like
remember that we have the end event of the season, and well, we don't know anything about it yet, but there's the emblem that it's tied to it, and there's a lot of things going around, and we still have nothing. But I think that should probably run more than 1 week.
Well, I figure
If it
we've
runs
got
more
about
than
3
1
weeks
week, it
left.
would come out. It would have to come out next week if it runs more than 1 week, because right now we are 3 weeks from today is Beyond Light. So, and since it didn't come out today, unless it's going to be like a Friday release kind of a thing, it would have to then be next week if it's more than 1 week. But with this event, do you guys think that's why there's so many like seemingly brand spanking new players? Like when I was playing quick play this weekend, for example, when I've been doing strikes for the weekly bounties to save up, I've been finding like 750 level players, 800, 900, like ridiculous proportions of really low light players. Do you guys think it has more to do with the cheating or with the event?
I think it has to do more with Shadowkeep becoming part of the Game Pass.
Yeah, it's not. I think it's not the event or the cheating at all. In my opinion, it's all about because Microsoft made the Game Pass. Everything is now available on Game Pass. So you have Game Pass Ultimate. You can play everything. Like you don't get the seasons like the season passes, but you get you get Forsaken, Shadowkeep. You're even gonna get Beyond Light. So that's
the main
probably
DLCs.
It's where everything. I'm pretty sure that's where everybody's coming from. It's like, oh yeah, now if you have Game Pass, you can now play for free. So more people are joining because of that.
I was not aware that that had dropped yet. I thought that was coming with the Series X. So
no, it dropped on September 22nd. It dropped on the release date of when Beyond Light was supposed to be out.
Good to know. Well, if you are watching or listening, because it's probably gonna be more of a listener than a watcher, and you are rather new, feel free to join the Vengeful Discord server, and you can hang out and meet pretty much all of us. Most of us that are in here play on either Xbox or PC pretty much round the clock at some point between the 4 or 5 of us. So you'd probably be able to get some help from us. So shameless plug for the clan there. And if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, then you don't have to be in the clan, and you can just be in the Discord server. So let's kind of try to wrap it up just like a little bit. What would you guys like to see for events in the future? Like what kinds of things we can learn? Like from Guardian Games, Bungie, and we all really learned the hard truth that players will take the path of least resistance, which is why Titans won for the most part, was because it was just vastly easier to do almost all of those bounties. And we also learned that bounty farming is not something almost anyone really wants to do. And we've learned from these events that there's always going to be players like myself that whether you like the event or not, you want the loot and the triumphs. And so you'll put up with a crappy event just to, for personal pride reasons. And we've also learned that there needs to be some kind of enticing enough of a loot system without it being super grindy, which I think is more from this current event with Festival of the Lost, hence the ciphers and only the 2 auto rifles. So what do you guys think are things that you would like to see, like say Valentine's Day or the Dawning? Maybe that'd be the next big event that would be in Beyond Light. What kinds of stuff would you like to see that's been different from the past?
Honestly, just better loot. Or a reason
now, would better loot be like the same number of things where it's like a ghost shell? It's like the 2 weapons, so it's like 5 items, or would better loot also include having a lot of options?
I think having a lot of options would be better, but I think Bungie is never going to do that.
I would like to see new loot, because pretty much every event they just keep recycling old loot from the previous iteration of this event and calling it new loot, but it's just the same because, for example, Horror Story and Braytech were in the last Festival of the Lost, but this time they just have random rolls instead of just set rolls. So
yeah,
I
even
like to
the
see new
ghost
loot.
shell, the sparrow, and the ship are actually the original. What you got, it's just wrapped up with mummy stuff, which I still like and was worth getting. At least the ghost shell was because of the perks. But yeah, I can try to have something more original. Hopefully, that would be a thing with Beyond Light. Oh, I really hope they don't make it where so much of this stuff is locked behind stupid bullcrap like 6,000 bright dust or $10. That'd be great.
True.
Because
So,
like I ain't gonna spend real money on an armor set I know I'll probably never actually use. And at this point, with Beyond Lights coming out, like why would I spend 6,000 bright dust on something I already know I don't want? / it's been around for a while. Instead, save it up for Beyond Lights with who knows what we're gonna get.
Yeah, for the season pass or something, more worthy. But
yeah, because I figure there's gonna be ornaments for those exotics, and who knows if there'll be bright dust. There's gonna, of course, be emotes and things of that nature. So I was like, I'm not gonna spend my bright dust. So what do you guys think about if we were to have more events where there's kind of almost like Solstice of Heroes-esque, where you actually have to like earn / unlock the armor in general, instead of it having it be like one event a year where you earn and unlock it, and the rest of the year you buy it.
I would be
So
for
I
it. I
think
know.
one of the cooler things would be if they started doing more things like they did with Solstice and give like extra, like how like it was like Arc Day and there was like a special abilities that would come with that. And Solar Days had burst damage if you collected the orbs, and Void Day made you invisible and grenade regeneration. I think if they started implementing more like fun gimmicky things into these events like that, that you would start to see an uptick in it. Like not just for PvP, but for PvE as well, Not the same thing, of course, but more themed events in the game would be nice. Along with maybe some more armor to unlock, even if like the ornaments where you had to do, specific objectives to unlock them or something.
Yeah, that would that would definitely be pretty nifty. I hate having to save up bright dust, or it's like, oh look, this really cool thing's available for bright dust. Too bad I don't have it.
Right. Personally, for me, coming from a similar game to Destiny, I came from Defiance pretty much. We would have similar events, and I do want to say that the idea of choice and having more different options for loot is something that I guess would kind of be more so nostalgic for me, because every event we did have prior to the mishap that Defiance has had, we literally would have each event with a certain set of archetypes, well, weapon archetypes. So there would be one for anyone who likes a certain, type of weapon that they use and things like that. So for me, I would definitely be down for them doing something similar to that. Not exactly, because it's kind of gimmicky after a while. You kind of expect a certain roster each event. But I feel like personally, it would be fun to give the players a little bit more choice, rather than, for what's right now, 450 RPM auto rifle, well, 2 of them, and gear and cosmetic things. I'm not too big on that. I want more choices for weapons, because that's what makes me interested in the game. Making me what's the word?
Want to grind?
Not even that. It's having this connection to my weapon is what makes me more interested in a game. Right now, I just got one of the best weapons I've gotten in a minute, a summoner that has dynamic sway reduction and I believe Rampage with the ranged masterwork. I love that weapon. It's made, I masterworked it within a couple hours of getting it. That's the kind of thing I would like, but more event oriented. So I'm not only trying to get things from trials, which currently on PC is not the best thing I like trying to do because of the, perfect game thing. But yeah, that's the kind of thing I feel like I would love to get more out of Destiny.
Yeah, that makes sense. Those are some good points. Thanks for that input, Lou. Before we wrap this up, does anyone else have anything they wanted to mention with events or, I guess, Perfect Aim, or maybe they're excited about Beyond Light or something?
Well, I hope. Yeah, I'm going to be glad to see what they do with Festival of the Lost next year, because if they bring back Haunted Forest again, they have no reason to, because the Infinite Forest is going away. So
that's a good point. Yeah, they can't do Haunted Forest.
See what they do next year.
They're bringing.
Are there any other events that hinged on some planet? I don't think so. I think it was just the Festival of the Lost, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just Festival of the Lost.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. It'd be the first one where they don't have the Haunted Forest as an option.
Well, I'm looking forward to Stasis Days during Solstice. Because, you got...
Is that a thing, or are you just hoping it's a thing?
Oh, it's got to be a thing, right? Because they did all 3 of them this year. And I remember when I was reading through some of the bounties, one of them did mention darkness as a thing. Like, not that you had to collect darkness orbs or anything like that. Nothing like that. It's just they mentioned in the text, like, arc, solar, void, darkness, it doesn't matter. And it was like a quote from the Drifter or something like that. So
that's a keen observation there.
Yeah, I gotta assume there's going to be some kind of Stasis Day in rotation, which will be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because by then it'll be in our arsenal.
Stasis might be real annoying if you can get frozen, because it looks like the Fallen are going to have it, and you can get frozen by the Fallen from that new lore trailer.
Yeah,
just punch him, man. Just punch him.
Crucible is gonna be super annoying with the freezing abilities, because if the world has their super, from what I've seen, and one of the other people freezes a whole group of people, the world can just come in and just automatically kill everybody that's frozen with their super.
Yeah,
well, I'm sure we could do a whole podcast on that alone.
that might have to be a future one after we try it, because I'm just going to leave for that topic. I'm so glad I got my flawless title and my unbroken title before Stasis.
Right.
Amen, man. Amen.
So as long as they keep repeating them.
I'm not a cool kid. I don't have flawless.
Well, I made black market deals. I was like, hey, you need a raid clear? Give me a flawless triumph, and that's what I did.
I see.
So I'm not actually amazing. I just happened to meet enough people that were like, yeah, we'll help you with a flawless triumph as long as you get us our first rig. There's no like recubs or anything done. It was just, I was like, yeah, like I'll put together a team. We'll get it done with you and teach it to you. And then he's like, all right, cool. I'll get my friend and we'll get that triumph done.
Don't believe him. He's actually a PvP sweat.
Yeah. So, oh man. Well, if we're all good, then I'll just close this out. Are we all good for me to do the closing part?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. Hey, well, everyone, thanks so much for watching. Again, this is the Knights of the VENG table, and we're sticking with it for now. So if you enjoy this, subscribe to my channel. I know it's kind of weird. It's on Church of Caboose, and we have this. Who knows? That could kind of change if this whole thing is popular enough and doesn't make sense to have combined with my own thing. But for now, it's together, and these guys are all down with helping me out. So make sure you guys are subscribed if you want to be in the Discord server and /the clan, so you have a chance at being in on one of these as a guest or a potentially more consistent individual. Then make sure you join the Discord server and join a clan, or subscribe, and then you can join the Discord server, because we will notify folks pretty much every week, like, hey, this will probably be the topic. Who would like to be the guest? And then you can be like, I do, because sometimes we want folks with like no experience, or there might be other times where like, hey, we need an absolute PvP sweat lord to weigh in because I don't know what makes a sniper flinch or something like that. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure you guys join. Also, check out my links in the description box if you want to support the channel, to include getting some various products from Redcon 1 off for 20% off. It's all their products, just they have some really cool stuff. So make sure you guys check that out. Do anyone else want to say anything before we deuce it?
Good hunting.
Yep. Take it easy.
All right. Have a great week, everyone, and happy grinding, y'all.